I am going live right now, ladies and gentlemen, folks of all kinds. I am live. Here we are. I'm coming to you, beautiful from beautiful Portland. It's a beautiful March day. Feels like spring has sprung. The jasmine is in bloom. I mean, it smells great out there. People's allergies are acting up, and we're all freaking out every time we have a little cough or sniffle because it might be the coronavirus. Yes, it might be the coronavirus. And I just got, here it is. Cheese says that I'm doing my live stream. Can you hear me, Cheese, from the other room? That's crazy. Let's see here. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to post here. Whoop. Command. Copy. Whoop. Boom. There we go. It's my show. Oh, I'm in that horrible thing where I'm looking at myself streaming. Interesting. So here we are. We're in the closet, literally speaking. As I've said, this is day 3 of my coronavirus diaries. I'm still trying to figure out the best lighting in the room. Obviously, I've got these little LED. It's a little clip light over here, and it's dumb. I don't like the light. It's almost fluorescent. It looks like it's a very harsh light. I don't appreciate it, but I do like. I do like the warm. Cheese, you can call in. Anybody can call in if they are. My phone line is open. You can call in and you can get on the Nick Medina Quarantine Diary Hour, Plague Journal Diary Hour. I hear you laughing in the other room. We are on a time skip. There's a small amount of time in between when I say or do an actual thing and when it suddenly appears on YouTube. And I'm just going to say, folks, that we're living in that little time slip right now. That's the kind of moment that we're in right now, is we are in that moment in between doing the actual thing and doing the actual thing and it coming up on YouTube. But like I said, this is day 3 of my quarantine here. Day 3 of the quarantine, day 3 of the show. Day 3 of the show. Delay, not a slip. I'm seeing some answers in the chat here. Thank you. Like I said, this is day 3 of my quarantine here. Just like we do every day, we are going to read the CDC guidelines here. I want to get the real information out there. None of this misinformation. None of this misinformation. I want to get the real information. And in addition to that, we are going to read The Mask of the Red Death by Edgar Allan Poe. And hopefully we'll get a call in. Maybe someone will call in today and, they will be able to be heard. Yesterday, I got a lot of complaints from people that David, my guest, we discussed film noir and other things. He could not be heard, evidently. I'm laughing. Spoonie on. Who is that? What does that even mean, Spoonie on? Why do I laugh? I laugh anytime that I receive. I just appreciate having people in the chat saying things. That's why I laugh. I'll stop laughing. Fine. This will be a humorless live stream from my closet, because that's what I need, right? In this time of darkness and trouble, what we need is people not laughing on YouTube. I feel attacked. Honestly, I feel attacked right now. I'm doing my best. I have a stress zit. It says, come here. I have a stress zit. I am going to laugh if I want to on my channel, and no Spoonie on is going to stop me. Why couldn't we hear David? Because he was very small on the phone. His voice was just not very loud on the phone. So I don't know. Why don't we hear you ever? You don't want to call in? You opened the door very slowly in one of our earlier episodes and did not appear on the thing. So anyway, folks, this is an important time. Life goes on. We are lucky enough to be holed up in our little shelter in place, but that's not what everybody can do right now. So for those of you that are going out in the world, we have new guidance, interim guidance for businesses and employers. So this is for all my business. Don't bully your chat, man. I'm not bullying anybody in the chat. Business. This is for all the business owners out here. Here we go. Oh, I touched my face. Whoops. Plan, prepare, and respond to coronavirus disease 2019. Now, that's one thing I don't want anyone to get confused about here is that it is, in fact, 2020. It remains 2020. Coronavirus COVID-19 2019. It must have appeared last year. So that's not, don't get tricked that it's 2019 when it's in fact, it's still 2020. I assure you. The year has not changed. We are not in the time slip, as has been previously worried. I floated that theory. And I'm sorry for peddling disinformation. But I'm not, that's not why we're here today. We're not here to peddle disinformation. I'm here to read the CDC guidelines here. In the little box, older adults and people who have severe underlying chronic medical conditions like heart or lung disease or diabetes seem to be at a higher rate for developing more serious complications from COVID-19 illness. That's really no good. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can't get somebody else to call in. Call in on the chat line. Call in on the day. One thing you don't realize, you get a little music. This is a break. Okay, so let's see here. Interim guidelines. This interim guidance, excuse me. This interim guidance, interim. This interim guidance is based on what is currently known about the coronavirus disease 2019, COVID-19. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. CDC. Hold on. For meeting. CDC will update the interim guidance as needed and as additional information becomes available. CDC is working across the Department of Health and Human Services and across the U.S. government in the public health response to COVID-19. Much is unknown about the virus that causes COVID-19 spreads. Current knowledge is largely based on what is known about similar coronaviruses. Oh, you want the number? I'm not going to put my number out there in the world. Who knows who's going to get it? You know my number. Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses that are common in humans. This is terrible, coronavirus. Okay, this is serious. Coronaviruses. I don't know why I think everything's so funny right now. Hold on, I'm going to read it later on. You should get a Google Voice number. Oh, that's a good idea. You should get a Google Voice number. Right, next speaks louder, and then raise the mic. Okay, here we are. Right, I'm going to go back in for interim. Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses that are common in humans and many different species of animals. Don't prep for this. Okay. All right, voice call. I've got to call. See, now I have to call the person who's calling in, Chris Brannigan. He's going to call in for 5 minutes here. Are you there? Oh, let me turn the speaker. Here we go. Hello, are you there?
I'm here.
Hello, you're on. We actually have some viewers today.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. How is everyone? I hope well.
People are safe. Yeah, I'm safe. We're all good. How are you? How's work? You're still working in the time of coronavirus?
Hey, of course. Software never stops needing to be automated, my friend.
That's more and more now.
More and more, and we really got the lucky gambit because we don't have a warehouse where we keep software. It's all fucking digital. So our supply chain isn't affected at all.
But yeah. So, but isn't there must be at some point there needs to be a human to human contact, or is that's
of course that's what it's all about, baby. That's what the sales is all about. Human to human contact.
I see.
Well, what are we talking about today, Nick? I've got 4 minutes. Hit me with a revelation. Hit me with some sort of clarity you found in these days of solace and isolation.
I don't think I've found that clarity yet. I think that's what I'm looking for. I think that the show will go on. The quarantine journal will go on until we find that.
Right.
That's a really good point. Thank you for setting the agenda here for us.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, is explaining. Now I'll let you get back to your meeting.
No, we need to share in this attempt that we hopefully find some sort of eureka amidst the storm, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what was it all for?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think the thing that I feel is that it won't be any one of us. It has to be a complete change, right? Like,
yes,
whatever is going to happen, and I think there will be massive changes coming out of this. That it's not anything that any one of us will do, but it will affect all of us, and we'll all be part of it. But I guess that's true of any movement, social, whatever.
Right. Well. And you can tell me if you're looking at it this way, but I see it as, it's a forced shift, right? We're going to be forced to look at things differently now.
Yeah.
We won't have an option. The Christians would say that God has a funny sense of humor.
Oh, right? And why is that?
Well, because now we're forced to now we'll be reconciled with like how quickly the environment, for example, heals itself after all of the human damage. Like, oh wow, we cease industry for 1 month, and now the rivers in Spain are clearer than ever.
Yeah.
Dolphins are literally swimming through the ravine.
That's crazy.
6 months from now, maybe the Amazon starts to rebuild itself. So we're just going to be forced to look at things and see our impact as a humanity. And so God has a funny sense of humor because the way that we see it all is through a global pandemic.
Yeah. I have a question from the chat here.
Sure.
Do you think when this is all over, humans will go back to things status quo and resume our life as it was, or do you think we'll slowly ramp in? I guess that you were just sort of saying that.
I think my idealist brain wants to say that will change, but my realistic brain tells me that no, we're fucking idiots. Humans are stupid. If we could forget about all of this tomorrow and go back to our normal status quo way of thinking and living, we would in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I mean, even me and you, even people who are staunch advocates for social change and for the need to address the ever increasing fatality of the human race, whether it's socially or through the environment, even us probably would love the idea of just everything going back to normal tomorrow. So no, really, I don't think this will have any impact. I think we're probably all fucked ultimately.
Well, see, I read a thing on Twitter. Someone says here, Spoonion says humans are the disease. Corona is the vaccine. Yes, well, I've heard that.
Oh,
I mean, I find that I don't. That's rather Malthusian.
I agree. It's no need to go full nihilism here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look, who knows? Maybe some people will wake up, and maybe those few will be the catalyzing force.
Well, here it looks like it's 2:30. It's time for your business meeting.
It is time for.
All right, thank you for that.
Little business meeting, but hey, thanks for looping me in.
Hey, no problem.
I look forward to more of these conversations, hopefully a little longer next time.
Oh, yeah, no worries. All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
I mean, I think that that was Chris Brand again. I think that that's lightly eco-fascist propaganda, so be careful. Oh, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Well, that's what Spoonion put in there, that the corona is the vaccine. So I don't agree with that. What I will say is that, if you look at the history and a materialist perspective, that things don't change unless the material basis of the society changes, i.e. the technology changes or something big changes in the way that we live. That is indeed how change happens in terms of like social movements and things. So I do indeed think that I do think that we could see massive change coming out of this in the same way that we saw massive change come out of, say, the Great Depression or the World Wars. That when big massive shifts in the material content of our lives. I'm getting all kinds of messages over here. Spoonion. In the changes of our lives will change the way that our society is structured. They must. And the question is, will it be a happy eco future or an eco fascist future? That's the spooky thing. I mean, there's really room for no good things. But we want to keep our Plague Year Diary journal here happy. We don't want to be too doom and gloom here, right? There is opportunity for solidarity and all that. What a doll. Who is here? What's going on here? Somebody call in, is what I say. Give me a call in if you are interested in finding out. I'm interested in hearing you. I want to know what your no doom or neither doom nor gloom. I want to hear about how you're doing. Here's what I'm going to do here. I want to know whatsoever. None. No, there won't be any doom nor gloom at all. So, like I said, call in here. Call in, Cheese. Let's get Cheese on the line. Here, let's see if I can get Cheese on the line. Cheese on the line. Oh, nope. Here we go. Let's do this here. Sorry. Whoops. Whoopsie doodly doodly doo. Let's see if we can let's put her on speaker here. Oh, nope. Speaker. All right, here we are.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 40882.
Oh, wait, I don't want this to go out to the world here. Don't listen to the noise.
Not available.
Okay, here we go.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Cheese, this is your husband, Nick Medina. I'm just leaving you a message because I was hoping that you could call in to the show and just, join FaceTime call. No, all right. Well, what is this? Oh, hold on. Hello? Whoa, what's going on? Is this purposeful? Wait, what? Was this an accident? I don't like this. I'm not joining that FaceTime call. Don't dox me. I didn't mean to FaceTime anyone. Oh, this is a mess. This is a mess. I just wanted to call Cheese. That's all. Folks, I think we might be doing a shorter stream here today. We need to get back to the important business, which is reading about COVID-19. Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses that are common in humans and many different species of animal, including camels, cats. Cats? There's no way. Cats. Cattle. Cats. Camels. I like those. And bats. Camels, cattle, cats, and bats. That's wonderful. Rarely, animal coronaviruses can infect people and then spread between people, such as MERS-CoV and SARS-CoV. The virus that causes COVID-19 is spreading. I don't know why every time. I think I'm giddy. Anyway, wait, what's going on? You started the phase. No, you own some rock. Great time floods, time slip. What? Oh, let me get back here. Rarely, animal. Oh, the virus that causes COVID-19 is spreading from person to person in China, and some limited person to person transmission has been reported in countries outside China. When is this from? When is this from? It's been reported outside of China? Of course. It's been reported all over the place, including the United States. However, respiratory illnesses like seasonal influenza and currently widespread in many U.S. communities. The following interim guidelines may help prevent workplace exposure to acute respiratory illnesses, including COVID-19 and non-healthcare settings. The guidance also provides planning considerations if there are more widespread community outbreaks of COVID-19. Oh, I need to wait, or let me get an F in chat for my ears. Oh, I need to stay further away. It's too loud. I see. I need to use a quieter voice. If I get really close to the mic, maybe this could be my whole thing. It's getting really close to the mic. No, I'll be further away so that I can be loud. I like to be loud, especially when I'm reading. To prevent stigma and discrimination in the workplace, use only the guidance described below to determine risk of COVID-19. Do not make determinations of risk based on race or country of origin, and be sure to maintain confidentiality of people with confirmed COVID-19. Oh, this is to employers. I guess if I actively encourage sick employees to stay home. You hear that? Separate sick employees. They should go home. They shouldn't. What are they that they're hanging out? Emphasize staying home when sick. This is the same. Hand hygiene, routine environmental cleaning, traveling to take certain steps. Furtures. When you bring the mic closer, it gets louder. I guess that's true. Fissers. Let me get an for sure. Anyway, well, all right. Well, we're done with the interim business guidelines. No one wants to hear that. No one owns a business that I know of. Here we are. We're going to read our daily dose of The Mask of the Red Death by Edgar Allan Poe, published 1842. Any suggestions for dealing with people who are not taking self-isolation? And then, oh, you mean like the people who are going out and about and just doing whatever? I don't know. I mean, they are being very foolish, I think, but not everybody has the ability to. I mean, a lot of people are going and having to work, I feel like if you shut down the businesses where people are going, where they shouldn't be congregating in large groups and things, I mean, I think that's the way that you target it. You have to target the institutions and businesses. And what are you going to do? Cite people? Have the police go around and handcuff people and cite them? I don't think so, Yeah, if I get COVID in quarantine and I pass it on to my spouse in quarantine, I need to be quarantined again. That's the cycle, and then they need to be quarantined. Yeah. Who knows? People be passing it back and forth. I think that the people who are putting people at risk the most right now are the employers who are forcing their workers to come in and work without paid leave, without any protections, without I mean, I read a thing today that Trader Joe's won't even allow their workers to wear gloves because it, quote, spoils the mood of the place. So, I mean, I think that there's always you point to the people who are organizing the activities, and it's the employers. So I think that we should definitely not be blaming anyone, any kid that's out in the middle of the street playing basketball with their friends right now. That's going to happen. But for the GameStop, which says to continue all of its retail locations will continue open despite lockdown, despite governor's orders, because they are, quote, essential business. So, I mean, again, say what you want about the idiot kids who are fucking still partying at spring break in Myrtle Beach or whatever. They're dumb, and what are you going to do about that? But it's the employers. It's the Amazon warehouse where last night one of their employees tested positive for COVID-19. They called off the 9 p.m. shift, but didn't call off the 10 p.m. shift. And so the workers had a standoff outside of the Amazon warehouse in Queens over the fact that there's no way that you sanitize the place in 4 hours. Yeah, so I don't know. Still, social stigma, though, I think we can shame people who are not taking it seriously. I mean, I think that's fine. I think shaming people who are partying or whatever, those dummies, still going out for St. Patrick's Day 2 days ago. Foolish. All right. Do I have any more questions from the chat? See, the thing is, when I go to read my CDC guidelines or something, my mask of red death, then I can't see the chat questions, and that's always. Or if someone wanted to do a call-in, this is a call-in show. Let's see if I can get anyone else to call in here. Here we go. Let me see here. Who could I get? One of my regular callers. Ooh, I'm taking calls now. Tell me your story. Taking calls now. Oh, let me get where my live is. Do. It's the daily live stream. It's Nick Medina's daily live stream, coming to you live from an underground bunker somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. Oh, it's the daily live stream. Oh, it's the daily live stream. Whoa, a daily live stream. It's the Nick Medina's daily live stream. Oh, it looks like we've got all kinds of people on the daily live stream today. Can we get a poster behind you that's just a graffiti anarchy sign? Yeah, maybe something. Maybe we can get some fun. More fog. Yeah, well, I can't do that. I am cleaning the oven right now. I bet the kitchen is smoky. We could work in there. Oh, don't say my name on a stream. Wait, but that's my what? But it's my name. Who's gonna dox everyone? Sorry. Okay, I got you. My name is Nick. Daily live stream, taking calls now. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not going to dox anyone. Should I not be saying Spoonie on? I shouldn't. Then people can find. They can go through and you do. Oh, yeah. No. I'm not worried about my personal self, but I don't want to do any doxing to anyone. I don't want to be the cause of doxing in others. That is a big no-no. I know that people don't like that. But me, I would say, sure, know what you will. World, know what you will about me. I am who I am. And I have a limited amount of money that I suppose you could steal. I guess you could take my social security number or whatever, which is no. I'm still waiting for taking call. I'm still waiting for someone to jump on the call here. No, it's a really wild stream. Do. What am I doing here? I am, for everyone knowing, I am not, it's not crazy. Nothing crazy about this. This is a totally normal. I know a lot of my listeners are, writing each other saying, "Oh, look, I have a text right here that someone said, is this him descending into madness? Is this a live stream of Nick's slow descent into madness? No, this is not a slow descent into madness." And another wag said something like, "It doesn't feel slow." Wow, it's crazy, hurtful, hurtful. Honestly. Anyway, folks. This thing is powered by you, by your listener support, donations. I encourage you right now to donate what you can to where you will. Actually, I don't know. What is a good donation? Where would be a good place to donate your money right now? I know we call this filling. And where can we donate? That's a really good question. That is a really good question. Where can we donate right now? I know let's see, I got an email from the Bernie campaign, and they suggested a place to send your money. So if you get emails from the Bernie campaign, you could just open that email right there if you're someone who has done that. Let me see here where they suggest sending your money to. Let me see here. I'll check in the email. Check in the email now. Hey, checking the email, checking the email, checking the email now. No one knows. No one knows. Wait, where can we? Are you? I. Do 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 do. Do all right, I guess I'll read this. No, I won't. Oh, okay, there we go. The Red Death had long devastated the country. No pestilence had ever been so fatal or so hideous. Blood was its avatar and its seal, the madness and the horror of blood. There were sharp pains and sudden dizziness, and then profuse bleeding at the pores, with dissolution. The scarlet stains upon the body, and especially upon the face of the victim, were the pest ban which shut him out from the aid and from the sympathy of his fellow men, and the whole seizure, progress, and termination of the disease were incidents of an hour. But Prince Prospero was happy and dauntless and sagacious. When his dominions were half depopulated, he summoned to his presence 1,000 hale and light-hearted friends from among the knights and dames of his court, and with these retired to the deep seclusion of one of his crenellated abbeys. This was an extensive and magnificent structure, the creation of the prince's own eccentric yet august taste. A strong and lofty wall girded it in. The wall had gates of iron. The courtiers, having entered, brought furnaces and massy hammers, welded the bolts. They resolved to leave means neither of ingress nor egress to the sudden impulses of despair or frenzy from within. The abbey was amply provisioned. With such precautions, the courtiers might bid defiance to the contagion. The external world would take care of itself. In the meantime, it was folly to grieve or think. The prince had provided all the appliances of pleasure. There were buffoons, there were improvisatori, there were ballet dancers, there were musicians, there was beauty, there was wine. All these and security were within. Without was the Red Death. It was toward the close of the 5th or 6th month of his seclusion that the Prince Prospero entertained his 1,000 friends at a masked ball of the most unusual magnificence. It was a voluptuous scene, that masquerade, but first let me tell you of the rooms in which it was held. There were 7, an imperial suite in many palaces. However, such suites form a long and straight vista, while the folding doors slide back nearly to the walls on either hand, so that the view of the whole extent is scarcely impeded. Here the case was very different, as might have been expected from the Duke's love of the bizarre. The apartments were so irregularly disposed that the vision embraced but little more than one at a time. There was a sharp turn at the right and left. In the middle of each wall, a tall and narrow Gothic window looked out upon a closed corridor, of which presumed the windings of the suite. These windows were of stained glass, whose color varied in accordance with the prevailing hue of the decorations of the chamber into which it opened. There, at the eastern extremity, was hung, for example, in blue, the vividly. See, this is this very long paragraph about the colors of the various rooms. I feel like I'm not describing it well enough here. Let me just skip ahead here to the last apartment. It was within this apartment also. But in the western or black chamber, the effect of the firelight that streamed upon the dark hangings through the blood-tinted panes was ghastly in the extreme, and produced so wild a look upon the countenances of those who entered, that there were few of the company bold enough to set foot within its precincts at all. It was within this apartment also that there stood against the western wall a gigantic clock of ebony. Its pendulum swung to and fro with a dull, heavy, monotonous clang, and when the minute hand made the circuit of the face and the hour was to be stricken, there came from the brazen lungs of the clock a sound which was clear, and loud, and deep, and exceedingly musical, but of so peculiar a note and emphasis that, at each lapse of an hour, the musicians of the orchestra were constrained to pause momentarily in their performance, to hearken to the sound, and thus the waltzers perforce ceased their evolutions, and there was a brief disconcert of the whole gay company, and while the chimes of the clock yet rang, it was observed that the giddiest grew pale, and the more aged and sedate passed their hands over their brows as if in confused reverie or meditation. But when the echoes had fully ceased, a light laughter at once pervaded the assembly. The musicians looked at each other and smiled as if their own nervousness and folly, and made whispering vows, each to the other, that the next chiming of the clock should produce in them no similar emotion. And then, after a lapse of 60 minutes, which embraced 3,600 seconds of time that flies, there came yet another chiming of the clock, and then there was the same disconcert and tremulousness and meditation as before. But in spite of these things, it was a gay and magnificent revel. The tastes of the Duke were peculiar. He had a fine eye for color and effects. He disregarded the decora of mere fashion. His plans were bold and fiery, and his conceptions glowed with barbaric luster. There are some who would have thought him mad. His followers felt that he was not. Oh, I can skip ahead if I want to. Excuse me. Our followers had not. Oh, good Lord, I lost my. He directed in great part the movable embellishments of the 7 chambers upon occasion of the great fete, and it was his own guiding taste which had given character to the masqueraders. Be sure they were grotesque. There were much glare and glitter and piquancy and phantasm, much of what has been seen in Hernani. There were arabesque figures with unsuited limbs and appointments. There were delirious fancies, such as the madman fashions. There was much of the beautiful, much of the wanton, much of the bizarre, something of the terrible, and not a little of that which might have excited disgust. To and fro in the 7 chambers stalked, in fact, a multitude of dreams, and these the dreams writhed in and about, taking cue from the rooms, and causing the wild music of the orchestra to seem as the echo of their steps. And anon there strikes the ebony clock which stands in the hall of the velvet, and then for a moment all is still, and all is silent save the voice of the clock. The dreams are stiff frozen as they stand, but the echoes of the chime die away. They have endured but an instant, and a light, half-subdued laughter floats after them as they depart. And now the music swells, and the dreams live and writhe to and fro more merrily than ever, taking cue from the many tinted windows through which streams the ray of the tripods. But the chamber which lies most westerly of the 7, there are now none of the maskers who venture, for night is waning away, and there flows a ruddier light through the blood-colored panes, and the blackness of the sable drapery appalls, and to him whose foot falls on the sable carpet there comes from the near clock of ebony a muffled peal, more solemnly emphatic than any which reaches the ears who indulge in more remote gaieties of their other apartments. But these other apartments were densely crowded, and in them beat feverishly the heart of life, and the revel went whirlingly on until at last there commenced the sounding of midnight upon the clock. And then the music ceased, as I have told, and the evolution of the waltzers were quieted, and there was an uneasy cessation of all things as before. But now there were 12 strokes to be sounded by the bell of the clock, and thus it happened perhaps the more of thought crept, which more of time into the meditations of the thoughtful among those who revelled, and thus too it happened that before the last echoes of the last chime had utterly sunk into the silence, there were many individuals in the crowd who had found leisure to become aware of the presence of a masked figure which had arrested the attention of no single individual before. And the rumor of this new presence having spread itself whisperingly around, there arose at length from the whole company a buzz, a murmur of horror, of disgust. Oh, what's going on here? No. In an assembly of phantasms such as I have painted, it may well be supposed that no ordinary appearance could have excited such sensation. In truth, the masquerade license of the night was nearly unlimited, but the figure in question... You know what, actually, I think we can leave it right there. I think that's so important, to leave people wanting more of that story. So we're going to leave that right here. I'm going to end that stream today. It's a short one, folks. It's a short one today. That's okay, though. We're going to have more coming to you every day of the quarantine. It's day 3. How good will day 4 be? That's tomorrow. All right. Bye.